Welcome to Pounds to Kilos. Today's episode is an interview with Kath Mackay. Kath is the affiliate owner and head coach at CrossFit Richmond. She's in her 10th year of affiliate ownership, and I've got a great personal relationship with Kath. She's one of my oldest friends, and today I really wanted to pick her brain about what the journey of affiliate ownership has been like. What are some of the challenges and what are some of the changes that she's experienced, and how would she potentially do things differently if she was to, go through this experience again? She's got so much to offer for an affiliate owner, for a trainer that works at an affiliate, or just for somebody who attends an affiliate and wants to get a better understanding of what people who own affiliates are actually having to do and go through and where their passion is. So she's a really remarkable person, and I hope you enjoy the interview with her. Keep converting pounds to kilos.
So I think it's worth us starting with, why have I got you on this side of the camera today?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good starting point.
Tell me why I've positioned you on the left-hand side and why I positioned me on the right.
Well, it's actually really good that I have such a strong caffeine addiction, because I was standing there waiting for our coffees, and Chris, who's one of the cafe managers, comes up and goes, "Do you know you've got spew all the way down your arm?"
Good day for it. Whose spew was this? It wasn't your spew?
It's my son's.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually think
He's just found his spew.
I'm sure our viewers will agree. She's actually done a good job of hiding such spew pretty
all
well.
down here.
Oh, it's on that side.
Yeah.
Okay, right. All right, excellent.
So it looks like some sort of, tattoo now, like tribal.
On the jumper itself. Okay, well look, we've got a lot to cover today, Kath. So for those I promised I wouldn't give you too much of a tell me about yourself, but there's going to be people that don't know you. You've owned a CrossFit affiliate. We did the maths on it. You're in the 10th year, because I was trying to figure out if you're a 10-year affiliate, and you're in the 10th year.
Yeah.
So you opened CrossFit Richmond in...
We affiliated in November 2009.
Okay.
And so we are in our
10th
we're,
year.
we're operationally nine years.
9.5 or something, yep.
Yeah, we're in our 10th
I should
year.
have filmed this in 6 months, and then I could have been like 10-year affiliate owner. But
yeah.
So look, today I'd like to. There's so much ground for us to cover, but I'd just like you to talk about all the experiences you've had as an affiliate owner. And you opened back in 2009, so it's a different ball game back then. Can you remember much about the decision to open the gym and then what happened afterwards? Like, do you remember what it was like to open a CrossFit affiliate back in 2009?
Yeah.
And what was it like?
So CrossFit was really new, and we had done our level 1 in the May of 2009.
Okay.
Greg Glassman flew in to speak at our level 1.
That's so
which,
cool.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it was just the coolest thing. And
did you know you were going to affiliate at the level 1? Like,
No.
did you? Okay, so you just went and did it.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. We'd been doing CrossFit for probably about 3 months at the point of time when we were like, let's go and do the level one in
Cool.
Brisbane.
Yep.
So Pat Sherwood was the flow master, Nicole Carroll was there,
Wow.
Lisa Ray, Matt Swift, Commando Steve.
What a team. That's incredible.
Seriously,
Yeah.
the energy of after me and Adam's energy after being on that level 1 was just like, when do we start? We actually purposely sat down with Matt Swift, asked him to have breakfast with us that week.
Yep.
To talk about, how do we make this happen?
Yep. For those who don't know, Adam's your husband and co-owner of the affiliate with you. So you went to the level 1 not knowing that you would open a CrossFit gym. As soon as the level 1 finished, was it hey, this is the path we have to go down? Was it clear to you?
We were already, obviously, we owned our own separate
PT,
businesses at that point.
Yep.
So we were already in the industry. Myself, I was an endurance athlete running, teaching people how to running sort of like outdoor training programs, and Adam was running PT out of his gyms, like his own garage studio.
Yep.
I'll use that word very loosely.
Yeah, right. So it's like it's a bedroom.
It really was just it's sort of like a garage that had been drummed into some sort of studio. But after that level 1, we had just the most insane amount of excitement around this training program, and we just knew that CrossFit was the only way to train. After years of training, so we're doing strength and conditioning programs and years of training ourselves, it just made sense. And it was all just this logical sort of puzzle piece that just all came together that weekend.
Yep.
And we were having sort of unbridled conversations with people, as I listed, these people were unfiltered at that point because CrossFit was just this exciting underground program. Nobody knew what it was. So when we opened, our biggest hurdle was explaining all the time what CrossFit is. And nobody knew what CrossFit was.
So do you find yourself explaining that very often these days? Like what is CrossFit? Or do you find that the people that come into your gym who are new actually sort of have already been exposed to CrossFit a little bit more?
It's really interesting because we're 10 years down the track and there's, CrossFit's out there and everyone knows what CrossFit is, apparently. And then when you drill down,
apparently,
when you drill down, conversations like F45 is in the same conversation as CrossFit now. We know that shouldn't be the case. But that is what conversations will be sort of directed towards this functional training program.
So would you say that it's more almost now dispelling myths about CrossFit
I think so,
than it is explaining what it is?
It's a re-education now, rather than an education.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can I just jump back to the level 1 for a moment? They were the people that took your level 1. Are you close with the people who were on your level 1? Because I imagine back then, it's not that it wouldn't have been as big, the course, but they're people like yourself who would have a bit more underground. So are there people that you still know from your level 1? So
we kind of don't keep in contact, but we know where each other are at.
Like sort of, there's a thread secret there. Handshake of the originals that came from back then.
There's a thread there.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain both what were the steps of you opening, but I want to know what were some key things that you had to do opening the affiliate, and then I'd like you to think potentially how would that change if you needed to open the affiliate now?
Yeah, wow. When we opened, there was a small knit community, and everyone helped each other.
Okay.
So when we were opening, we would go around to other boxes and go, where did you get that rig from? How did you put that there? What made you set up this way? And there was just this open amount of information. Everyone was really willing to help each other.
It's funny you say that because I remember seeing some photos and even videos from your opening day, and it felt like there was somebody from every gym that existed at the time. Then there's people from Schwartz's and CrossFit Vic and there was St Kilda.
People literally made a massive effort to be there on your opening day. And I'm talking about affiliate owners. You would have your opening workout scheduled around their availability because they would literally drive to celebrate that day with you. And it was something that was, I feel like there was a friendship, but there was also this equal excitement about wanting success for each other.
Almost like if this new box is successful, then that's actually going to make everyone successful. It's going to raise CrossFit up.
True. There was also there was the brand component and everyone wanting the brand out there.
Of course.
But there was this genuine wish for to be successful.
It was more than just a business concern. It was like, hey, you're a fellow CrossFitter. I want to see you succeed.
We're going to throw down together, and then we're going to go and eat together and have a drink together, and there was definitely a friendship there.
Okay, so we're talking in the past. It doesn't necessarily mean change is bad, but it wouldn't be the same now. You wouldn't approach it the same, or perhaps that's not the right question. You don't think that new affiliate owners are approaching it that way when they open a gym?
Well, put it this way, we literally did our due diligence before opening in terms of we would speak to any affiliate owner at that point. I know there wasn't many. We would speak to any of them and ask a million questions and try and not just ring them or email them, but actually go
to the gym
and literally try and create a friendship that was, if we could do anything to help them in return, then we absolutely would.
Uh-huh.
But we would try and, work off what they had found to work for them and what they found to not work for them.
Did you ever get those calls? Because eventually you became...
The first couple of years, probably, we haven't had a call like that for probably about 4 or 5 years now.
Right.
But we did back in the day. I feel like now when a box opens, you just hear about it.
Yep.
And there is less of this conversational piece. People aren't sort of wanting, I feel like, to be vulnerable and to feel like they don't know everything.
Sure,
and that they have
okay.
got things to learn. And so they're less inclined to sort of approach people like myself and Adam.
Yep.
Because it's opening a vulnerability that probably they don't want to expose.
So it's almost like saying, hey, I need some help, but people are not necessarily willing to make that call anymore.
It's really, for me, that's so weird. Like, if you're going to open a gym, getting your ducks in a row for that is an enormous undertaking, and any assistance you can get with that.
Yep.
And I'm not just talking about just sending a box owner an email, because I feel like that's kind of like, you're not going to get a result from that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, literally coming, meeting, handshaking,
Yep.
really trying to acknowledge that you're part of a community.
Yeah, and you're a new member of that community.
New member of the community.
Yep.
And yeah, I just feel like those sort of days have unfortunately passed.
One of the fallacies that I believe is something that some people in our community believe is that, there's a box that might open up around the corner for me. In my experience, that's been fairly rare, that somebody opens up 3 doors down and takes all your members. I mean, people can probably think of a case, but it's rarer than what people think. There seems to be almost this, I'm scared of opening up near someone, or I'm scared of someone opening up near me. Can you speak to that? Like, is that a real thing, do you think, or is that a little bit of cock and bull?
No, I think, there is genuine fear there.
Okay.
Genuine fear.
But
for people.
is it a real thing though? Are people actually opening up 3 doors down from other people and taking people's clients?
Heard of it.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of it.
Yep.
And the weirdest thing is the cases that I, heard of it in is kind of like smaller locations. Like coastal locations and things like that, which I'm not sure what would drive that decision.
Yep.
But in the city, there is probably a CrossFit box 3K that way.
Yep.
2.5K that way. And we always just relished in that.
That's right.
We were always like, this is fantastic.
Okay, I'm really pleased to hear you say that, because it's not like the box 2K down the road is a problem. It's actually, it creates like a support network around you potentially.
There is so many people who require training.
Yes.
And you're not going to provide the recipe for everybody.
Yeah.
And we all run our box so differently that I feel like you're catering to a clientele based on what service you're delivering. And so therefore, there's a client for everyone.
Sure.
There really is. There's enough business to go around.
Yep.
And I feel like as long as you stay true to your mission, you shouldn't be worrying about what
other
people
boxes
are doing.
Sure. Okay. So we can press on, we don't get stuck on this for too long. Can you give me one thing that you did that you would highly, highly recommend a new box owner to do when opening a box, and one thing that you did that you would be like, yep, that was a mistake, or I definitely could have done that better for somebody to do?
So I feel like we kept our box relatively small.
Okay.
We did the cheapest fit out with the best result that we could.
Sure.
We tried to stay within our means. And when we first opened, that was probably the most successful thing we could have done, because within a year we were making really good money.
Yep.
And we were servicing the amount of people that we could service well. We didn't
could actually make them fitter.
We didn't jump in membership quick enough before we found our feet. By the time we got our membership numbers up there, we were running.
Yeah, okay.
We felt comfortable in the service we were delivering. We were comfortable within our coaching roles.
Yep.
We were running a really good tight ship by the time our membership did jump.
So not to give you the mistake, and if you can give me something else, that'd be great, but this facility you have here, if you jumped straight into this, too much on a number of levels. Hey, like first of all, a financial level, and second of all, maybe coaching capacity. Like you probably need 20 people classes to at least make this work every class, and that's a big ask for a new affiliate owner. Hey,
it's an impossible ask because the pressure you then put yourself under, which your pressures when you open are just so immense.
Sure. Yep.
Adding that financial stress to, just a natural progressive target, like. I don't know many affiliate owners who are fantastic at marketing, to be honest.
Sure.
We're all coaches naturally.
Yeah,
we're all
okay.
Strength and conditioning sort of orientated.
Yep.
And we've had to acquire some marketing skills, but I don't know many who are amazing at the marketing.
Naturally, like it didn't come to them naturally. Yeah, okay.
So they're not going to start with a bang. It's going to be this beautiful progression of, referrals and gathering your client, your tribe and community, and this sort of loyal following is actually what then keeps you afloat.
Yeah, okay.
Big jumps, in my opinion, are fraught with issues because how many of those are going to hang around? I don't know. If you jump and you jump to 50 straight away and then jump to 100 straight away, your attrition is going to be probably a lot greater than when you naturally just develop your client base.
Yep, and it's hard to, if the quality of the service drops, it's hard to make up for that. What's the word I'm searching for? The reputation you can develop if the quality isn't there early on.
Totally.
It's difficult to make up for that.
Okay. And the biggest problem you can have is then having a smaller facility that is packed to the rafters.
Yeah.
You'll yourself remember.
Yep.
We were at capacity by the end of the 3 years. We had 200 people in a 270 square metre box.
Yep.
It was sometimes chaos.
We're going to talk later about that decision to transfer to a bigger space because I know that's something a lot of people have done or have thought about doing. So I'm really interested to know what was the thing that was like, oh God, this has to happen.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, there's a topic I'd like to press onto, and that is staffing. Because I think for affiliate owners, I won't say it's the trickiest thing, but it's definitely one of the things up there that is challenging. Has it been a challenge? Has staffing been an issue?
Yeah, I guess, your earlier question of what's the difference between running an affiliate 10 years ago and running an affiliate now. 10 years ago, me and Adam ran every session until our first coach came on within the first year, which was yourself.
Yep.
To now, there's a team of 9 coaches on board, and you're not doing the predominant amount of coaching hours.
Sure.
So there is the huge amount of transition between being just a coach and then finding time for everything else, and now predominantly doing this administrative role and making sure the business stays afloat, and having a business that generates enough income to provide your coaches with an income.
Yep.
So you're doing your best to run a business that provides roles for these coaches, jobs for these coaches, and it's always been my number one sort of intention to keep my coaches well fed.
Okay.
And I want my coaches to always feel like there is some sort of next step for
progression
of their development. Once it hits the point where they need to then move on and know there is going to be a natural sort of progression. I feel like the ones that we have set up for that success have been super successful.
Yeah, sure.
And
okay.
they really have. But then, of course, there is everything in between that, managing this staffing. I think for affiliate owners, as I said before, you have to learn to do your marketing. You've got to learn to manage staff.
Yeah.
I mean, as a coach, just naturally becoming this boss is a leap for a lot of people. And how to develop the skills to then lead these people and ensure that they are running the programs you want them to. They've got your back, running a cohesive coaching unit. Man, that's a skill set in itself.
I imagine that transition for you, because of what you talked about, you and Adam sort of running the gym together, was a slow one. Like you managed, you started off managing one person, which was me, your first coach, and then that becomes 2 and then becomes 3. So you would have had to, at some point, to keep those coaches fed, like you said, I quite like that term, step back from the amount of coaching hours you were doing.
Yeah.
Was that a challenge for you? Because I know that you're a coach by nature. You love to coach people.
Yeah.
Were you ever like, stuff this, I want to coach?
Yep. Oh, no, seriously, like I have to keep coming back to the fact of somebody's got to run the joint.
Yeah,
And
sure.
It's not a role that I actually really love.
Okay.
I've got to be really upfront with that.
Yep.
My passion, as you said, is coaching.
Yeah,
Being around
people.
is the excitement around giving people a win for the day.
Sure.
There's nothing better than that. Being on hold to Telstra for hours and doing all those stuff, that's soul destroying.
Yep.
And I feel like, and I hope that the coaches that are in any affiliates sort of domains, they understand that affiliate owners would rather
Be coaching.
be coaching.
Look, this is a good friend of mine, and I'm not too sure what your view is on this, but they told me that one of the, I guess, contradictions is that coaches that come on often will say something about the affiliate owner never being there. It's like, oh, the affiliate owner never coaches, and there's two reasons for that. One, they're running the joint, and two, if they're coaching, then you're out of a job as the trainer. So it's really worth the trainer respecting that. Hey, if the affiliate owner's not there, that's because you're actually being given more responsibility, which is helping your progression. So, yeah.
And over the years, there's been many times that I've gone without taking a wage in a week to pay my wages.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of coaches do. They have this love. I'm not going to say hate, but they have a love relationship with the owners in terms of that first initial phase of being a coach under the wings of box owners. And then after a period of time, you start to sense this almost they're dissatisfied with something that the box owners are doing.
Yeah, or something about the programming or what it is.
Yeah. There'll be sort of like this feedback information that you'll hear. Oh, well, your coach wasn't happy that this was programmed, or your coach had said this comment about the running of the gym, and they feel like things could be run better, or this should never be programmed. Or
how have you handled that over the years?
So it's a tricky one, because I feel like politically you need to be managing your coaches with a level of respect that you would hope to return. So I'm constantly trying to shine a light on my behaviour with them that is going to not have conflict.
Sure.
Because anytime you have conflict, you're going to then have that conflict spill over onto the gym floor, and there's going to be this sort of undertone.
It's not always malicious. Is that a fair call? Like, it's not always attempt to undermine you. It's more the coaches get so passionate about, like, they spend all day watching YouTube clips of CrossFit, which the affiliate owner doesn't have time for, and then they come in and see something programmed which the YouTube clip said you shouldn't do that, and then they develop their own sort of set of values around CrossFit, and that
before
leads to this.
They're judging you.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Against this world sort of, stadium of coaches, and my box owner isn't up there with this, amazing affiliate owner over in Canada or whatever. And it's like, wow.
Have you seen the doco on so and so? It's like, no, I was on the hold to Telstra all day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
so there's two things that I feel like a coach always needs to then pull back to themselves. This is what I always try and ask them to do, is remember that I'm buying a service from the coach and they're selling a service. So this relationship is definitely something that is at any point in time could be taken away.
Yeah,
They could stop selling me their service, or I could stop
buying the service. Yep. The supply and demand. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
If suddenly we drop our membership from, at one point, in any point in time, we have 270 odd members here. So if that suddenly drops off, I may not need 9 coaches.
Yes.
So
if you undermine the gym and we lose 30 members,
success for you is success for me.
Yep.
So that's number one. I feel like coaches always need to keep that in the forefront of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I have just this constant dream, and it's a memory actually, of a coaching unit that's just a cohesive, gang, and we all have this almost peripheral vision. You know, you're off doing this, so I'm going to go off and do this, and this sort of, and it's like this dance throughout the hour.
Yep.
And it's naked to the eye that people don't know that this is what we're doing, this dance. But the coaches know that each are doing their role.
Yeah, okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to make sure that this is done. And there's just this beautiful sort of play on.
It just sounds like a good team, to be honest. Like, it sounds like a team understands each other.
I've had this. I've witnessed it. I know it's possible.
So, a somewhat confronting question: can you have it with 9 coaches?
At the moment, we don't have that.
Okay.
I'm going to be really honest.
Yeah. And it's not that any of the coaches are at fault or problematic, but it's just it's difficult to get 9 people working like you're talking about.
There is a lot that has to happen for that to be the case.
I might ask you then, because I imagine that the question I'm about to ask you leads to a good result in what we're talking about. Where's the best place a coach comes from? Now, that's a hard one, but best hiring practices from your experience?
My experience, we've always hired within. There's been 2 occasions that we haven't hired within, and they didn't last long.
Okay.
The most successful long-term coaches we've ever had have been members.
Yep.
Look, they may have had qualifications in.
Sure. Yep.
So it's not like we provided them with that, but we have on some some occasions.
Yep.
I feel like there is definitely a genuine need to want to coach CrossFit.
So you don't give the nudge too often, or okay, you wait for them to show the interest.
Wait for them to show the interest.
Yep.
Wait for them to actually really approach us and say, how would this happen?
Yep.
How could I make this happen? You know somebody's hungry if they actually do then come to you. You can drop some seeds.
Yep.
But if somebody's really hungry to be a coach, and I feel like you have to be hungry to be a coach because it's not the easiest job in the world.
I think it's always harder than what you think it's going to be. So if you don't really want it, if you just kind of want it, you're not going to want it once you understand what it's really like.
Oh, early mornings, late nights, long days.
Challenging clients.
Challenging clients, like being able to put a game face on, having characteristics that are going to pull people, towards your way of thinking.
Yep.
I feel like an affiliate when a coach joins a coaching team of an affiliate, you want them to have their own individual components of how they execute a session.
Yep.
But I feel like you also need a coach who's going to be on the train that you're already running.
Yep.
And the owners are going to be changing the sails according to the wind.
Yep.
That's a fact, and that has to happen constantly, right?
Yep.
But they'll update the coaches prior to changing the sails. So once you put your systems in place, I feel like coaches need to buy into that.
Yeah, okay.
And they need to be 100% on board with how you run your gym, the systems you run, the progressions you run, safety components, housekeeping rules, and all that sort of stuff. I feel like your coaches need to have the same voice that you do on all of those things. As soon as they start questioning, I'll give you the example of, this workout, I don't believe this workout should ever be programmed. If that comes out of your coach's mouth, I feel like, number one, they are undermining the success of the gym, because automatically they're starting to plant seeds in somebody's mind as to, well, if that shouldn't be programmed, well, why am I doing it?
Okay.
And that's not going to bring me any joy while I'm doing a workout that should never be programmed.
That's right.
How can I enjoy that?
They can't change it probably at that point. Yeah.
I'm doing all these repetitions that apparently shouldn't be programmed. And number two, it's telling me that coach is actually not a coach that I thought they were, because they can't then scale it.
They don't have the skills. Yeah.
They don't have the skills to ensure that that person's capabilities is matching the workout I'm giving them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my role as a coach. The programming's the programming.
Yep.
But my role on the gym floor is to ensure that that person's capabilities are being catered for.
one of the statements I've always liked is coaching trumps programming. I don't know if I fully agree with it, and there's a conversation to be had, but certainly for the people that like to just analyze programming and pick apart, it's like, well, if your coaching's there, then the programming will work totally fine.
Always.
There's one last aspect of coaching I'd like to ask you about, purely because I guess I've worked under you and we're great friends.
Yeah.
How important is the personal relationship in between the affiliate owners and the coaches? Because it's a weird one where you're right, we're purchasing a service, but I tend to think it works best when there is a really strong personal connection, and like I have some empathy with your personal circumstances, like the ones where you said, I've known when you haven't taken a wage home,
yeah.
and that actually helps me lift my game as your coach, not
yeah.
just as your friend.
Yeah.
So how important is that, and where do you draw the line if there is a line to draw?
Yeah. I feel like the longer that I've been in this business, the more I feel like a relationship with my coaches is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
And it just organically happened for us. And
Sure.
for 4 years ago, the coaching staff are probably my closest friends to date.
Yeah.
And that just organically happened. It was nothing that
You didn't be like, I have to make friends with this coach, yeah.
No, it wasn't this intention. And God did it affect the gym in such a positive way.
Sure.
Now there is definitely a bigger coaching team, and
harder.
I would love to bring the cohesiveness back in of ensuring that the coaches are this force that is, just a palpable force within the gym that just draws people's, respect. And we've all got each other's back.
Yep.
And, I feel like right now there is a very business-like manner to CrossFit Richmond.
Sure, okay.
We're business-like.
Yep.
We're a bigger facility. We're a bigger coaching staff.
A very
It's
successful
professional.
business, though,
Sure,
we'll talk about that in a
business.
moment.
But it's very professional, and
Yep.
it's more polished.
Yep.
It's less grungy and underground.
So
and
where's
natural
the balance? Is there a balance?
Where's the balance? I feel like there is a level of respect between our coaches and us. In terms of friendship, there's not this close friendship. And I would love that.
Yep.
I would love that, but it's harder to achieve.
Yep. And did that change with the size of the team, or at least it correlated with it? Okay.
You're spending less time with each individual coach, and I feel like as soon as you start doing that, it takes that personal sort of edge away from it.
So I've got a question for you then. We're talking about the balance of business business and personal relationships. We're talking about the staff and the affiliate owners. How have you found it over the years between the staff and the members?
Yeah.
And have you had to manage it very carefully, or have you let it just organically? These people are going to become friends, or I need to make sure they don't become friends, or what is it?
So I feel like myself and Adam have always not distanced ourselves from friendship groups within the gym.
Sure.
But we've always definitely had a professional sort of relationship with members. And then as the staffing has grown bigger, and of course our coaches are probably more of the same age as our members.
Sure.
Our demographic is somewhere between, the greater majority of our demographic is somewhere between 23 and 30. And our coaches are smack bang in the middle of that.
Yep.
And so the friendship opportunities for them are just going to probably
They're gonna happen, yeah.
It's going to be more of a natural
Sure, yep.
thing. Do I like that? I'm going to say no. Do I like coaches hanging out with members? There is so many issues that can come from it.
Sure.
Personal relationships break down. You see coaches in a different light, sometimes in a light that doesn't, it's not endearing.
Yeah, okay.
It loses a sense of the unknown And I feel like the best coaches I've ever been around, they've had a level of respect from members that had an element of unknown.
Okay.
Not sure 100% how they live their life,
Right.
but they know they live it well.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I like
feel
that. Makes
I
sense.
feel like that has brought about a level of respect from members that also causes this loyalty, longevity.
So, if there is not an error, but if there is a, hey, this has gotten too personal relationship, and the flip side of that is just way too sterile, which one's worse? Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer your coaches to be a bit too matey and you have to be like, hey, I don't want to see you out with the members drinking, or I don't want, like, you're getting very close to so and so. Would you prefer to have to talk about that, or have to be like, hey, can you lighten up a bit? Like, which one's your preference?
Yeah, I feel like the members that want to be friends with the coach,
Yep.
that's the coach I want.
Okay. Sure.
Do you allow yourself to be placed into a position where members are seeing you in a less than optimal state? No, I don't want that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want them to be friends with my coaches. Do I want my coaches to reciprocate that? I would prefer not.
Okay.
Can I control that?
So,
no, I can't.
look, is it possible? Because let me just understand what you're saying, right? You want the members to want to be friends, but you want the coaches to turn it down to a degree. Okay. I totally understand it. I think organically it's a difficult one to avoid, where, like you said, the vast majority of your members are between 23 and 30. Your coaches are bang smack in the middle.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yep.
And are my coaches amazing at what they do? Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Yep. Yeah. And
So
the end result is key. That's really what we're after.
And for the fact that, half the membership want to be their friends, indicates how awesome they are as people.
Yep.
So, I think you're right. Which would you prefer? A style coach who doesn't draw any attention,
Yep.
is not charismatic?
Yep.
I don't want that coach.
Yep, sure.
Of course.
Yep.
So, managing the other scenario is, and to be honest, I tend not to manage it.
Okay.
That's how I manage it.
Yeah.
I let them run their own race.
Yep.
And as soon as it starts to affect coaching or something that happens within the four walls of my gym,
That's when you
to
have
step in then.
Sure.
But what they do outside the gym, I tend to let them make their own mistakes.
Okay. I like that. Hey, let's press on. We've talked about the staff at length. Let's talk about your role now. And you mentioned before that business development is something you've really put some time into, and as an affiliate owner, that's sort of how you've transitioned into it. So would you say that, I wouldn't say CrossFit's changed necessarily, but it's been very much a changing landscape. Would you say you reacted to that, or you were in front of the ball game with it? I know it's a bit of an open-ended question.
We definitely weren't in front of the ball game.
Okay.
So when we started, Facebook was around, but a decade ago. But now there's Instagram, there's Facebook ads, there's ways you generate memberships that are definitely foreign to myself and Adam. We're not naturally good at that stuff.
Yep.
We would rather be present in our coaching than think about videoing and taking photos.
Sure.
And that's been to the detriment of our exposure on social media. In terms of myself and my development as a business owner, I'm naturally entrepreneurial, and so I've tried a lot of things. We tried the cafe in front of the gym.
Sure.
We've tried having different services within the gym.
Yeah, you've got yoga here and stuff.
Yoga, and we've tried to. We've incorporated an in-house sort of physio component. We've incorporated a number of things to make it more of a training facility.
Okay.
So there's been a number of things that we've just tried.
Yep.
Some
have worked.
have hit the mark and some haven't.
Can you think of some Can you think of a characteristic which is present in all of the things that have worked?
Yep.
What is it?
Honestly, I feel like myself and Adam have always known our identity as a business.
Sure.
We've always had a clear vision of how we wanted to run our CrossFit box, and it was always with the most simplest approach to maintaining CrossFit and improving fitness for an individual.
Sure.
For as many as we can. As soon as we strayed from that vision,
Yep.
that's when we started to lose
Yep.
traction.
So, I mean, the core product is CrossFit, and
It's our core product.
and then the extra things that clearly support CrossFit, they've been successful, and then the things that are like a little bit more sort of, hey, this looks good on a website, or this looks good to list as something we offer, but don't necessarily facilitate CrossFit. They haven't worked, or they've
when,
just...
5 years ago, when F45 sort of arrived on the scene,
Yep.
there was this element of the next couple of years of this questioning of our product. You know, in the back of your head, and even, you know, the coaches saying F45s are literally packed to the rafters. You've got to have these 45-minute sessions. You've got to do these sort of non-complex. You've got to draw this clientele in.
Sure.
We dabbled with that stuff.
Yep.
And then as soon as we dabbled with it, it very quickly became, you know, so obvious to me that our passion isn't there.
Yeah.
We're not delivering the product in the same way that these other people do.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
It's not going to bring about success because our passion is CrossFit.
Yep.
Stick to what you know. Stick to what you're good at.
Yep.
Don't complicate things. The client you receive wants CrossFit.
I like it. I think I've said to people before, I'd be the worst F45 coach ever, because I'd probably get in there and completely take away from the experience that the person going to F45 wants to have. So if I tried to sell that, yeah, that's. I mean, I've only attended a session ever, but I remember thinking to myself, like, my coaching style would not work here. So talk to me about some of the things that you have seen. Like, okay, so the cafe didn't work. Why didn't it work, apart from like, not necessarily that you didn't have the best coffee or the best brownies, although those things were good. Yeah, so why didn't it work if the product itself was okay? Was it just that not enough resources, or not exactly where your specialty?
We threw resources at it.
Yeah.
And we really stuck it out for a year.
Okay.
People who walk through our door, they just want to do CrossFit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They don't want the bells and whistles. And I feel like as soon as you start to take your facility away from, you know, we don't have heating, we don't have air conditioning, we don't have cafes, we do CrossFit.
Yep.
And if that's what you want, we are the place for you.
So if you've stuck to CrossFit as a core product, has that product changed? Like, rather than...
We developed in terms of...
Yeah, I guess what we're asking about right now is, did you add other products to the product of CrossFit? And we're saying that apart from things that clearly help CrossFit, like the physio, but what about the program you offer, or the classes you offer? Has that changed a lot, or has it not changed much? Or
we've definitely added and subtracted sessions according to what worked.
Yeah, okay.
For us to pay one coach, we need to make sure that consistently 5 people turn up, right?
Okay.
So for me, that's always been the indicator of, do I keep that session time on? Do I keep that style of session on? Is 5 people consistently turning up? If not, it's got to go.
Sure.
So the things that we have adapted are the specialty sessions like gymnastics and weightlifting.
Sure.
Those sessions have been more targeted at skill development, upskilling, and ensuring that people have the availability to do the workout of the day. But if they want something else, and they actually want potentially a skill rest day, that's available to them. And what that did was, it actually then enhanced the capability of our overall membership.
Sure.
Last Christmas at our annual Christmas workout, we did a chipper sort of workout whereby individuals had to complete a set targeted number of repetitions of a skill within a set time domain. So I don't know, 100 double unders in the first minute.
Sure.
Everyone did that. And then we kept the skill relatively low as we went through. We had at least 75% of our membership right up until the point we were scratching our head going, oh my God, they can all do handstand push-up.
Yeah, they can all do.
They can all do this snatch in this time domain. They can all do this. And we started having to quickly add on things to our list because the capabilities across the board were so good.
So I guess, not to answer the question I asked, but if anything's changed, it's been a focus on more skill development rather than more of the huff and puff, which was like sort of the F45.
Like we found a blend.
Okay,
we found this awesome blend which allowed people to train more.
Yep.
Get the variance they need.
Sure.
And then suddenly they're training more, they're getting skill development with these specific sessions, and they're getting the huff and puff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're still getting the CrossFit.
They're still getting CrossFit. But they're just developing as athletes. And they're also, they're getting the coaching peeled back in those sessions, which is really lovely.
Okay.
You know, I feel like they're getting the time.
Yep.
So, have we got many of those on the timetable?
No.
Not a huge amount.
But they're there.
But they're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask you about, and I think ideally this will be a nice way for us to sort of wrap up, getting your thoughts on a few different trends that we've seen in the community. The first one, and maybe you can talk about this at a bit more length, is opening a bigger facility.
Yep.
What was the best thing about it, and what would you do differently if you could do it again?
We went from 270 to 1,000 and
square meters.
Yep.
Yep.
And ideally, we would have not gone such a big jump.
Did you know that at the time, or did you figure that out?
It took us 2 years to find this location. So
I
within
remember.
about a year and a half, you knew we were scouting. We were scouting for a location in Richmond. It's really tough to find a location.
Sure.
So this location is ideal in many respects, and then in many respects, there's elements of it that I wish weren't present.
Is it purely too big?
Too big.
Okay.
So it's allowed us to do all the programming Adam wanted to do. You know, he wanted to be able to. We couldn't do bench press, say, for instance, in the other gym.
Sure.
We couldn't do a number of
barbell workouts. Yeah,
we wanted to program because of the sheer size of
Sure.
it. Then suddenly you come to a bigger location. People have got all this space, and it does affect the energy in the room. It affects the cohesiveness of you know, sharing equipment and all that sort of.
Did it change the social interaction?
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
It really. It actually made it a lot more. Just the space created this dispersed energy.
Yeah.
And there became smaller, little disenfranchised groups. And for about a year, as you remember, the coaching staff were like, man, it's almost like little cliques started to develop.
You have to herd them. Yeah, I remember.
We had to literally intentionally create this space again within the bigger space.
Yeah.
But it then brought opportunities for us, like holding competitions, like having seminars here.
Yeah.
It has
running
so
on
many
ramps
opportunities.
or fundamentals at the same time as a class, comfortably.
2 sessions, comfortably.
Yep.
And we've run sessions here where we've had strength and conditioning coaches for teens. We've had 36 girls down the back, and then we've had just a normal WOD of in excess of 30 people here. So
wow.
we've had over 60 people throwing down.
That's crazy.
At the one time.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say comfortable.
Yeah, but
I'm going to say efficiently. You know,
it'd be impossible at a number of facilities.
We
so
can do it because we've got the skill, we've got the number of coaches, we've got the ability to run large groups. You know, I think that's the fantastic thing about CrossFit. Adam asked me the other day, when we first started over a decade ago, we started weightlifting, right? We started teaching ourselves weightlifting, and we both had done strength and conditioning courses. We were both qualified. We were both, he sports science degree, but something switched when we learnt how to progress movement, and that was via CrossFit.
Yeah, okay.
CrossFit taught us
how to teach
via the progression.
Yeah.
Weightlifting wasn't taught that way back
Yeah,
in the day.
okay. It was just, here's the thing.
here's the thing.
Best of luck.
Throw it up over
Yeah.
and you'll still see people teach that way.
Yeah.
Strength conditioning coaches.
Sure.
Not CrossFitters.
No.
CrossFit coaches know how to effectively give a recipe that's going to bake every time.
Did you ever think about a second facility?
Yeah.
And what stopped you? Just couldn't get it done, or you just decided against it?
I feel like what stopped us was collaboration. We
Okay.
didn't know, we wanted to collaborate with somebody on a second facility.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like that would have brought about the best result. Could me and Adam do it on our own? No.
Yeah, okay. So
No.
you just needed somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. We've sort of discussed programming at length, but over the years, there's been trends within programming. Like Olympic lifting really asserted itself probably around 2011-12, when in the Open there was a few Olympic lifting workouts, and then the Outlaw Way made a big deal of Olympic lifting. You now hold specialised classes for that. I guess I want to get your thoughts on that. Like, is that Olympic lifting is such an important part of CrossFit? Was it always important to you at the start?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was always important to us because we always knew the training effects were second to none.
Yeah,
You
okay.
know, the effects of training like that, you just can't replicate it.
Yep.
But the only problem is, it does create this barrier. And I still hear it today. People
Yeah, okay.
not turning up because snatches are programmed.
Yep.
Or people feel like it's a limitation.
Yeah.
And I know from the outsider, the F45 person, who is a bit sick of that style of training, wanting to take the next leap, their barrier is
The complexity.
technicality
Yeah.
of what we do.
Ironically, that's the thing that they would get the most benefit from. Similar vein to sort of like, it's too complex. What about comp squads and different streams, like advanced stuff? Have you had issues with that?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to manage like this, like rising tide of, hey, we want to be really elite athletes? And
There was one part of the 9 years where we had almost like a squad,
yep,
and they were super competent athletes, really beautiful athletes, still are, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Looking for their shot at the titles. sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And it was kind of back when it wasn't less than 1% chance that
Sure.
we all know it.
Yeah,
to
no,
be
no,
out.
I
You
know
it was
exactly
kind
when
of
you're
at
talking
that
about.
competitive stage where it almost felt like people could touch it.
Yeah.
You know, it was close enough.
Yep. So I think there's so many good things for an affiliate owner here to chew on, but is there anything we haven't covered that you think an affiliate owner should hear? And that goes for both a new one or somebody who's been around as long as yourself. Like, what are your thoughts just at the moment?
Do you know my thoughts for any affiliate owner is to always be aware of smokes and mirrors,
Uh-huh.
you know, the whole social media thing, and try not to feel like you have to deliver everything to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like if you stay true to delivering a really good service, having yourself as a great coach and develop that and ensure your coaching continuously develops. Don't get stale, don't get lazy.
Sure.
Keep bringing the fire, keep bringing the fun, keep bringing that energy to every session. Your business will always do well.
Yeah, okay. And I'm assuming that's not dissimilar to something Coach Glassman would have said to you on your level one.
I feel like, you know, one of the things he said, which I'll never forget, is that he has sacked clients. He was
Right.
like, I've sacked clients.
Yeah.
Because
I can see him saying that.
because he's like, you know, don't try and change yourself
Sure.
to accommodate every person out there. You're not going to be the coach for every person out there, but the coach that you are could make, you know, 200 people be the best they can be, and may not service 1,000,
Yep.
like a lot of Globo gyms do. But that's okay. Just definitely stay true to you, your service delivery, and the smokes and mirrors in social media are all they're all very alluring. You
Yeah,
know, they
yeah.
try and pull us in and try and make us want to look like something else and compare ourselves to other people, and that's dangerous.
Yeah.